Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, you're welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. Thank you for being here. Now, today I want to reply to one of my subscribers who asked me a question when I did my previous video on why I was denied the visa, and yet it seemed like I had all the right reasons to join my husband. Now today I want to give, I want to give the reason as to why I think I was rejected in the first place and second place. Then also how I got to actually get my visa on the third try. So in the first place, I applied for the wrong visa. I applied for what you call the friends and family visit visa. But the documents that I had attached were showing that I was not really going back to my home country. Yes, I was married. I attached my marriage certificate. I attached my pregnancy scan. And here I was saying that I was coming back in 3 months. Honestly, even if it were me that were assessing that application, I would reject it, because honestly you can't tell me that, one, you're married, your husband is living the other side of the country that you want to go to, you're almost due, because I was almost due, and in your application you've written that you are coming back in 3 months. I think that was the first mistake that I made. My application was not tallying with what I was saying was going to happen. So they rejected me basing on yes, once your visa has expired, you will not go back to your home country. As much as I was married, that wasn't the right visa for me. So in Schengen countries, if you're married, there's a special visa for you. Now for Netherlands, it's called an MVV. That MVV, you get it as a spouse to an EU citizen. Yes? But for you to be able to get that visa, you have to learn the language to a certain level. You have to pass the civic exam for you to be given that visa. So for me, I was using backdoor. I didn't want to do the civic exam because, first of all, we don't even have Dutch schools in Uganda. I had to go to Rwanda to do that exam. So that was the first mistake that I made. And also the fact that I didn't do enough research on the type of visa that I needed also, I think, played a downfall on my visa application. So in the second attempt, yes, this time I'd given birth, but I didn't really write an application as to why I was coming to the Netherlands, for how long I was going to stay, the purpose of my movement to the Netherlands. Guys, they do require that. You write an application letter. It's like you're applying for a job and it's up to them to either give you the job or not. So I didn't write any application letter. I just went to the website. I saw what was needed. And in my knowledge, I just did that. But that isn't what was required. And I later found out that the type of visa that I requested for isn't, I think, known in our Ugandan embassy as for facilitation visa. And our embassy, I think, usually handles, the tourist, the visit visas, and facilitation. I don't think it was heard of, because when my rejection came back, they were telling me that basing on my application, they don't think that I will be coming back to my home country. Yes, that was the whole purpose of the application. For me to go and be with my child in the EU, raise my child knowing his culture. But they didn't know that type of visa. That's what I later discovered, and also my lawyer later told me. So when I involved the lawyer, she wrote for me a fresh application. She wrote an application letter. She told me to attach things that show that I'm really involved in my child's upbringing. And the letter that I was to write was to show that I need my child to be in the Netherlands for his well-being. I had to be emotional with my application letter. So when you're applying for these visas, please do write that application. Make it as emotional as you can, in that even when somebody is reading, because they do read every document. Even when the person is reading your application, you'll be like, oh my goodness, this person really needs to go to, oh, to shining. This is nice for the Dutch weather. They really need to see that this person needs to be with their child in the EU. They need to bond more with the other parent, because my application, I wrote that my son needs to know his father. My husband needs to know his other children. And I don't want my children to know their father through the phone only. We need a physical bond. So I had to be as emotional and vulnerable as I could. Your child having an EU passport alone is not enough for them to grant you a visa. You need to show them that for my child's well-being, they need to be on the other side. And another thing is, yes, your children are, if your child is an EU citizen, they're actually entitled to that movement. Even you, as a parent of that EU child, you're entitled to that visa. But I think sometimes these visa officers just play adamant. But they know you're entitled to it. Maybe what I forgot to tell you was, my first, in my second attempt, my visa application, the very first one was assessed from Uganda, and they rejected it. So when I involved my lawyer, it was assessed from The Hague, Netherlands. Because I think because I had written why I need to move, it was now an immigration case. And they had to bring it to The Hague so they can assess, forward to Uganda, visa approved. This facilitation visa is meant to help you, or it's meant to facilitate your movement from that country to the EU. And once you reach the EU, you apply for residence. That's why it's called a facilitation visa. It's meant to facilitate your movement. And with this type of visa, if you have an EU child, a minor EU child, you don't need to do the civic exam. That's why I didn't do the civic exam. I didn't do the civic exam. But on my very first application, I had to do the civic exam for them to grant me that MVV visa to facilitate my movement to join my husband. I was applying as a spouse. This time around, I applied as a mother to a minor EU child. And the good thing is that that type of visa, you can also your other children can benefit from it. They can also use that very visa. They're entitled to it as well because they have siblings to the EU citizen. So they're also entitled to it. Even if you're a step parent, you're entitled to that type of visa. So that's what I used to come to that's the type of visa that I applied for and eventually got to come to the Netherlands. Now I want to give you guys a checklist and requirements first for you to be able to be granted that visa. I wrote them down because right now I'm having kind of pregnancy brains and I'm kind of forgetful, so a few things I can't really memorize. So I'm just going to read them, then maybe offer a few explanations on why it is not, So there are 4 conditions that you must pass. The first one being your child needs to have the EU nationality. In my case, the Dutch nationality. But parents, as much as your child has that nationality, you need to have the passport. I know of a certain case where the child is an EU citizen but doesn't have a passport, but the parent wants to immigrate. You can't do that. A passport is the identity to show that, yes, I'm an EU citizen. So they need to have that passport because you need to attach that first of all when you're applying for the visa. Then your child has to be a minor, below 18. You're eligible. Then you can prove that you have a long term relationship with your child. What does that mean? You're financially there, emotionally there. Even if your child is in the EU and for you're in another country, you're sending them support. How are you going to prove that you support them? The receipts, the Western Union receipts, whatever money transfer mode that you use, as long as you keep those receipts, you attach them during the application of the visa. And you as a parent that is, let me say, in Uganda, you need to show that you're there for them. You feed them, all those pictures. You feed them, you take them to school, you bathe them, bedtime. Generally, everything that you do in your child's life, they need to know that you're really, really involved in your child's life. Because I had to attach all those pictures, because I had pictures, many pictures, when my child was in hospital, the doctor's visits. Oh, by the way, I also had to get those letters from the doctor to show that I've been taking my child to the doctor. Letter from the school show that my kids have been attending school and I've been taking them. My tenant, my landlord show that I've been a tenant and I've been paying rent. You need all that. You need all that. I had to attach all that. Generally, you need to lay your life out to them and show them, this is my life. That is what I do for my children. All the nitty-gritties that you think, really, even that? Yes, even that. Show them that you're really, really involved in your child's life, where they won't really have any choice but to grant you the visa. Then also you need to show that you're traveling to the Netherlands to live with your child. I know some people who want to come to the EU and find their own way, but that isn't it. I'm going to use Netherlands because I'm in the Netherlands and at least I've gotten some experience. When you come to the Netherlands, they know where you stay because you need to register with the municipality. They know how many people are in that household. They know how many children are there, because I've had people come to my door like, oh, welcome, how are the children? And I'm like, okay, children? Yes, we know you have 3 children here, this, and this. They do check. At least they've checked on me. They've called me and they tell me, yeah, your children at this age come for immunization. So they know, guys, they know. So those are the conditions that you first have to meet for you to be granted that type of visa. Then for the checklist that they use when you are at the visa center, that's also something different. Sorry, I'm still reading. Okay, now the checklist is you need an application form. That is a no-brainer. You need an application form that is signed. Yes, then you need your travel documents. That is the passport for you. Then the child. Then you also need to attach the child's parents' passport. Especially the EU parent, also you need to attach their passport. You need legalized birth certificates for all the people that are traveling. Your child need legalized birth certificates from Foreign Affairs. And please don't scan the legalized ones and you retain the originals and give them the scanned. They'll reject it. They want the original. So you need that. You also need proof of long-term relationship with your child. You still need to attach the pictures, the financial support, and all that. Then your travel itinerary. You need that as well. On top of that, please don't forget that application letter. Don't forget the application letter showing why you're traveling, when you're traveling, Do you intend to stay there? Do you intend to come back? Put all that in writing. Guys, put all that in writing. Don't be ashamed to say, because on my last attempt, they asked me, are you coming back? I told them, no, I'm not coming back. I'm going there to stay. They're like, okay, thank you. So you need that in your application so that you're not judged as a tourist, but you're going to be judged as an immigrant. Yeah. And in case you've noticed, I haven't said anything about financial documents or anything like that. It's because with this type of visa, it's not required. You don't need to attach your financial statements, your spouse's financial statements, their residence. You don't need to attach all that, but it is needed in other types of visas. This type of visa, you don't need it because they know you're there to stay. And given that you have their citizen, they will definitely do, they will try to see that their citizen is with them. And maybe what I forgot to mention was, this facilitation visa is given to only parents from third world countries. So Africa, definitely, yeah, we are third world countries. So it is given to parents from third world countries. It enables you, it is with this type of visa that when you come to the Netherlands, you apply for the Chavez permit that allows you to stay in the Netherlands with your child. Yeah. Well, I hope I've answered the question correctly. Why I was denied the visa, and yet they thought I had the legit reason. For me, that's what I think the mistake that I made was attaching some documents that were showing that I was immigrating, and Anita was saying that I was, going there for a short visit. So yeah, that's it from me. But hold on, before I even say my goodbyes, I've noticed that 90% of my viewers have not yet subscribed. I wonder why. So don't forget to click that, that subscribe button and share. It could help somebody, you never know. So thank you guys for being here for this long video. I hope it has helped you, or it's going to help you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.